Michelle Kirkendall, a mindfulness educator with MCPS. So happy to be with you today. Today, our topic is, what is empathy? What is empathy? What does that word mean? How do you even spell empathy? E-M-P-A-T-H-Y, empathy. So before we do that, let's get into our bodies. Let's feel connected. Let's breathe a little bit. Let's allow ourselves to get really focused as we talk about this mindfulness tool we call empathy. So wherever you are, seated up nice and tall. I am actually seated crisscross applesauce just because it's really comfortable. You might be comfortable in a chair at home. You might be in a classroom. Wherever you are, there are no boundaries to where we can use our mindfulness tools. So I want you to come seated up nice and tall wherever you are. Maybe take a minute to roll back your shoulders. There we go. Feel your spine. Nice. Now, again, we're going to do what's called ocean breath, and it's with a sound. So we're going to inhale, and on the inhale, remember, we feel that expansion in the body. We're inhaling and the belly is expanding, the lungs are expanding, the chest is expanding. On the exhale, we're going to open up our mouths and we're going to hear that audible just like as if you were listening to the waves at the ocean. All right, so let's get started. As you're seated up nice and tall, you can do one or two things. You can close your eyes if you feel really comfortable. If you're not that comfortable or you just don't want to close your eyes, you can also just soften your gaze and look down towards the floor, whatever your preference is, whatever you're comfortable with. But let's get started. Let's get into our bodies. We're gonna close the eyes. I'm gonna close my eyes. I'm gonna gaze down and I'm gonna inhale. And I'm gonna exhale as I open up my mouth, a nice audible ocean breath. Inhale, exhale. Great. Last time. Inhale, big inhale through the nose, big expansion in the belly. And exhale, let it go. Nice, nice. Give yourself a nice smile. You know, whenever you smile, we're exercising the muscles in the face. Someone told me that it takes something like 44 muscles to frown and only 14 to smile. So we should all smile more throughout our day. All right, so on to today's topic, which is, what is empathy? Empathy. Empathy is the ability to understand another person's experience from their perspective. Maybe you've heard the phrase, put yourself in someone else's shoes. That's a really, really good way to explain what empathy is. I also like to use the example of, I have a really, really good friend of mine, and I absolutely adore her. I enjoy spending time with her. And one day we decided to hang out and we went to the beach. And I love the beach. I love oceans. I love it. It calms me. So I wanted to just go to the beach and stick our feet in the water and just watch the waves. And so we get to the beach. We set up our umbrella. We're having a great time. We're drinking our smoothies and everything is great. And then I'm like, hey, can you see those waves? Let's go get in there. Let's go have some fun. Let's commune with nature. And she looked at me with this look of terror, of absolute fear. And I was like, what is the problem? Are you okay? Is everything all right with you? And that's when she said, you know, I don't know how to swim. And I am afraid to get in the water. Anything past her knees just freaked her out. And that day the waves were really tall and they were crashing in, and lots of fun for me. And so as she was explaining her fear of water and her fear of just the vastness of the ocean, I didn't quite understand that because I'm such a lover of water, but I did understand the concept of being afraid. And I shared with her that I have an immense fear of bumblebees because I've been stung by a bee. And so that scares me. And so I could see how she felt about the water was the same way I felt about the bees. And so since I understood her fear, I decided that we could have just as much fun if we went for a walk on the boardwalk or just a walk, around near the beach, drinking our smoothies. And that could be just as much fun for us as sticking our feet in the water. And we both agreed and we went and we had an amazing time. But I just think, what if I had decided that, or I got upset because she didn't want to get in the water and I very much wanted to go swimming that day? That would have been really stressful and very, very selfish, because she was really afraid. So again, just having empathy, really, really understanding the needs of our friends, being really mindful and aware of others, how they're feeling, how they're doing. And when we do that, not only are we taking care of ourselves, but we're taking care of one another. And you think about how important that is when we're thinking and behaving mindfully, really being aware of our environment, of our friends, of our family, of the people that we are experiencing this life with on this journey. So I hope that you've learned a little bit today about mindfulness and being empathetic, or what is empathy and how we experience it in our lives, and the importance of empathy. And so I'm hoping that that this week, why don't we challenge ourselves? Why don't we challenge ourselves and just give thought? Let's close our eyes. Let's close our eyes just for a moment. And again, if you're ever uncomfortable closing your eyes, just gaze down. Let's just take a pause and think about this week. This week, I will show empathy by what? I will show empathy. What will you do to show empathy in your world? What are some of the things that we can do? I can show empathy by maybe cutting my music, maybe listening to my music with my AirPods, as opposed to listening to my music out loud. Sometimes my friends don't like my music. And just having empathy that we can have differences and we don't have to be the same. So my empathy is going to be with my music, because I like to listen to my music really loud, but I can listen to my music in my AirPods, and my friend can also do whatever it is that they need to do, and we can coexist. So again, I hope that you've enjoyed today's session. What is empathy? We also have some really interesting videos, so please click the link, check out some of our videos, and feel empowered with the mindfulness tool of empathy. Have an amazing day, and thank you so much for joining us today.